Today we're going to look at writing equations for lines that are parallel or perpendicular to something that's given to us. So we want to write an equation of the line that passes through the point 1, -6, and is perpendicular to the line y equals 3x plus 7. All right, how many of you are an older sibling? Like you have younger siblings at home? Several of you, okay. Let's say your younger sibling goes out trick-or-treating for Halloween and brings back this just fat basket of candy. Do you take all of the candy, or do you pick out like the best of the candy and leave the crappy stuff for your younger sibling? Well, assuming you like candy, you would take out the good stuff, like the Almond Joys and the Mounds. Sorry if you like those, but you leave those. Leave the cheap dollar store chocolate. You'd take all the good stuff. This equation, y equals 3x plus 7, this is a bowl of candy. You need to take the good stuff. What's the slope of that line? 3. The rest of that equation is absolute trash. You don't need it. You don't want it. Get rid of it so it doesn't confuse you. Okay? So the original slope was 3. They want a line that's perpendicular. So the perpendicular slope
Bless you.
What would be the perpendicular slope if the original slope was 3? -1/3. This is the slope that we want to use in our point slope formula. So if you remember point slope formula from yesterday, it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Let me color code it really quick. Your x value goes there. Your y value, nope, that's the wrong color. So y minus our y value is -6 equals our new slope, -1/3, times x minus our x value of 1. On your assignment today, it's going to ask you for the perpendicular slopes. There'll be a blank for you to write your perpendicular slope. It will ask you for the point slope form version of the equation, so you'll write that down. And then there'll be another blank for the slope intercept form. So our next step is to distribute our slope and get this into slope intercept form. So first of all, what's this minus a negative in front of the 6? It's a plus 6. Distribute, we'd have -1/3 x. -1/3 times -1 would be +1/3. On a test or a quiz, I will try to make that slope not be a fraction, okay? I'll really try. What would we need to do next to finish this problem up? Subtract 6. So we have y equals -1/3 x. And I'm going to take my calculator and do 1/3 minus 6. If you want to write -5.67, I would not count that wrong, but you can also change that into a fraction. It's -17/3, so -17/3. But again, if you have -5.67 written, I won't count that wrong. Okay, number 6 is exactly like number 5. In number 6, we again need to find a perpendicular slope. So what is the original slope in number 6? -3. We don't want anything else in there. Notice in number 5, that 7 that was originally in the problem, that 7 didn't affect anything at all. Don't let the extra information confuse you. It seriously is just there to confuse you. If the original slope is 3, the perpendicular slope needs to be, the original is negative, so perpendicular slope needs to be positive. And flip that 3 around, it'd be 1/3. So you would use a slope of 1/3 and your 0.32. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you think that you could do that on your own if you had to? Okay, that one's actually a little bit nicer. Let's go straight down to number 7 with the parallel slope, just so that we've done one of those. Same type of problem. We want this to pass through the point 3,9. We want it to be parallel to y equals 5x minus 15. What's the slope of y equals 5x minus 15? 5. And what does parallel mean? Same slope. So we are going to use m equals 5. That's the slope that we are going to use. Take a moment. If you're watching the video, pause the video. Try this problem on your own. Write it in point slope form, convert it into slope intercept form. Okay, you should have y minus 9 equals 5 times x minus 3. Then we distribute to get 5x minus 15. Add 9 to both sides. Slope intercept form is y equals 5x minus 6. And on your assignment, there'll be a blank for you to write the slope, there'll be a blank for you to write the point slope form, and there'll be a blank for you to write the slope intercept form. It should lead you through it kind of step by step. There is one problem on the back of your assignment that's kind of like number 8. Basically, they want you to create 2 points, find the slope, write it in point slope form, convert it into slope intercept form, and then use that formula, that equation, to estimate how many meals or snacks will be purchased in 2006. So just remember that when you're setting this up, you want, like in this problem, you would want year, comma, number of meals for each of your points. And you can choose, in this case, if you want to use the actual 1984 and 1996, or if you want to use X is the number of years after 1984. It's totally up to you. Honestly, I think it's easiest to use 1984, 113 meals or snacks per person, 1996, and then the number is 131. You'd find your slope, write the equation, and then you'd use an X value of 2006 to figure out how many meals or snacks were purchased per person in 2006. So we're not going to go through that whole process. I just wanted to give you like a glimpse of what that's going to look like. I want you to kind of work that out on your own in your assignment.